Rudi Johnson, former NFL star running back for the Cincinnati Bengals, has died at the age of 45. Reports confirm that he was found dead in Florida in the early hours of Tuesday, September 23rd, and the cause of death has been reported as suicide. The heartbreaking news sent shockwaves across the sports world, with teammates, fans, and even rivals pouring out tributes for a man who was not only a powerful runner on the field, but a beloved figure off it. Johnson's sudden passing has left many struggling to process how such a tough, resilient athlete who once seemed unstoppable between the lines of scrimmage could fall to something so devastating behind closed doors. For those who watched him play, the name Rudi Johnson brings back memories of bruising runs, relentless effort, and a 3-year stretch where he was one of the most dependable backs in all of football. But today, his story is being retold in a very different way, one filled with grief, remembrance, and painful questions about life after the NFL. Almost immediately after news of his death broke, the Cincinnati Bengals released a statement honoring their former star. The team described him as dependable, productive, and widely loved in the locker room. They recalled how his steady presence carried the offense through some of its best years in the mid-2000s. Bengals president Mike Brown added that everyone who knew Rudi saw him not just as a teammate, but as a dear friend. That sentiment was echoed across social media, where players and fans alike expressed their heartbreak. Former teammate Chad Ochocinco Johnson posted a simple but powerful tribute, R.I.P. Rudi. Others called him one of their all-time favorite Bengals, while some admitted they were in shock and couldn't believe the news. Fans wrote about how he was their childhood hero, the player they imitated in the backyard, the jersey they wore proudly on Sundays. And then there were those who admitted something darker, that his death by suicide forced them to confront the painful reality of what so many athletes struggle with once the spotlight fades. To truly understand the magnitude of this loss, we need to rewind to the beginning of Rudi Johnson's story. Born on October 1st, 1979 in Ittrick, Virginia, he grew up in a small town with big dreams. At Thomasdale High School, Johnson was already a local legend. Coaches recall how he made the game look easy, cutting through defenders with a power and balance that seemed unfair at that level. His dominance on the field led him first to Butler Community College, where he continued to shine, and then to Auburn University in the year 2000. That single season at Auburn became the stuff of legend. Johnson rushed for over 1,500 yards and 13 touchdowns, earning SEC Player of the Year honors. In one short season, he etched his name in Auburn history, giving Tiger fans memories they still cherish today. His powerful running style, low pad level, and ability to break tackles made him a nightmare for defenses and a fan favorite instantly. The Cincinnati Bengals recognized his potential and drafted him in the 4th round of the 2001 NFL Draft. At first, Johnson sat behind Corey Dillon, another star running back. But when Dillon left, Rudi stepped into the spotlight and never looked back. From 2003 to 2006, Johnson became one of the league's most consistent and productive rushers. He put together 3 straight seasons with more than 1,300 rushing yards and double-digit touchdowns. In 2005, he set the Bengals' single-season rushing record with over 1,400 yards, a mark that still stands today. For Bengals fans, those years represented hope and excitement. With Carson Palmer at quarterback, Chad Johnson and T.J. Houshmandzadeh at wide receiver, and Rudi Johnson pounding the rock, Cincinnati finally had an offense that could compete with anyone. And Rudi wasn't just about stats. He was about effort, toughness, and reliability. Coaches praised his work ethic, his refusal to go down on first contact, and his ability to control the pace of the game. But Rudi was more than just a football player. Off the field, he had a reputation for kindness and generosity. One of the most memorable stories about him comes from a fan interaction in 2005. A visually impaired young Bengals fan named Katherine Hivner came to the practice field. Instead of just signing an autograph or posing for a picture, Rudi spent nearly an hour with her, walking her through positions on the field, explaining each role so she could see the game in her mind. He didn't make it about himself. He made it about her understanding and feeling connected to the sport she loved. That kind of compassion left an impression on everyone who witnessed it. Rudi Johnson's career wound down with a final season in Detroit in 2008. By the time he retired, his NFL career totals included nearly 6,000 rushing yards and 49 touchdowns, ranking him fourth all-time on the Bengals rushing list. But numbers don't tell the whole story. To the Cincinnati community, he was a hero. To his high school and hometown in Virginia, he was living proof that dreams could come true. And to his teammates, he was family. Now, in the wake of his death, we're left with painful questions. Reports suggest that Johnson had been struggling with mental health issues and may have shown signs of chronic traumatic encephalopathy, or CTE, a degenerative brain condition linked to repeated head trauma. CTE has been a growing concern in football, with tragic cases like Junior Seau and many others raising alarms about what the game does to the minds and lives of their players long after retirement. The fact that Rudi's death is being reported as suicide has only intensified this conversation. Fans and commentators are asking, how many more players have to suffer in silence before more is done to protect them? How many more young men need to die too soon because the game they loved took too much from them? On Reddit threads and social platforms, some fans admitted guilt, saying they cheered every hit and every bruising run without realizing the long-term consequences. Others pointed out how little support many retired athletes receive once the spotlight fades. And yet, despite the tragedy, Rudi Johnson's legacy is shining brighter than ever. His high school community in Virginia recently inducted him into their Sports Hall of Fame. Though he couldn't attend in person, he left a heartfelt message. Dream big, shoot for the stars, stay focused, never give up. Those words, now replayed with heartbreaking poignancy, capture the spirit of who he was, a man who believed in chasing dreams and inspiring others to do the same. Friends and coaches from his hometown describe him as always smiling, always uplifting, the kind of person who made those around him better. That's the memory his community will hold on to even as they grieve. In Cincinnati, fans are remembering the roar of the crowd when he broke free for a first down, the way he carried defenders on his back, and the chants of Rudy, Rudy echoing through Paul Brown Stadium. Those chants will now live on as a tribute to a player gone too soon. Rudi Johnson's death is more than a headline. It's a reminder that behind the highlights and the glory, athletes are human. They carry burdens we don't always see. And while fans will remember him as the hard-running back who gave everything on the field, those closest to him want him remembered for his heart, his kindness, and his ability to inspire. As the NFL community processes this devastating loss, the call for more mental health support, more awareness, and more compassion for retired athletes grows louder. Rudi's story is tragic, but perhaps it can also be a turning point, a chance for the game to evolve, not just in how it entertains fans, but in how it protects those who play it. For now, we honor his memory. Rudi Johnson gone at 45, but never forgotten by the fans, teammates, and communities whose lives he touched. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more celebrity updates just like this.